Kinesiology Conference in Chinese. So it's not a kinesiology conference in China, or it is not an international conference per se, but we emphasize the importance of the Chinese language. So the purpose of my talk, I'm going to call for speakers from worldwide, whether you are a Chinese speaker or English speaker or foreign language, other language speaker. We are most welcome. If you have something to share, if you have your expertise, and if you would like to share with us your knowledge and your experience in our conference, related to our conference theme, which is life skills for pursuing happiness. So this is our conference theme for this year. So let me introduce myself a bit. As I said, my name is Amy Choi, and my Chinese name is Wai Ming. Choi is my surname. And I've been in the field as a full-time kinesiologist for about 28 years. And basically, I'm based in Hong Kong, and I have a lot of experience teaching in mainland China, some experience in Taiwan, in Japan, as well as some European countries like Germany and America, in United States, in Asia also, like Malaysia and Indonesia. So I have some overseas teaching experience, and I really like traveling, especially when I was in my late 20s and early 30s. I travel really a lot. I travel around the world for 15 months. I've been to more than 30 or 40 countries. So not only teaching, but traveling. So I think I have a vast cultural database to be like a kind of context for my giving you this presentation today. So my expertise is in kinesiology, and some people call it energy kinesiology, and especially in three modalities. One is called brain gym, the other is touch for health, and the other modality I teach is my own thing called Choi Wai Ming Kinesiology. And I also publish manuals and books in kinesiology. Some is written by course authors, and the other one written by myself. So I have such kind of experience, and I have this will be the 8th conference I'll be organizing. So I really look forward to this talk, because this is to me, it's like experience sharing, and it's not only relevant to the conference speakers of this year, but I think it may be relevant to future conference speakers and for those who want to come and work in China and spread your work in China. So let me begin my talk. Please show the first slide. So this will be the outline of my talk. First of all, why our conference this year matters for English-speaking presenters. I work in two international organizations. One is called IKC, and which governs Touch for Health and related kinesiology. The other one is called BTI, Breakthroughs International, which oversees brain gym and other kinesiology modalities. So I have I worked with faculties from all over the world, as in administrative level as well as teaching level. So in different levels, I've worked with people, and so I'm going to say why this conference matters. And the second point, I will talk about the Chinese-speaking market for kinesiology, wellness, and personal growth. What are some of the specific characteristics of the Chinese-speaking market, and who we are as the organizer, and then the conference venue. So I'm going to show you our city, Shenzhen, and for this year we are going to have online as well. So next I will talk about speaker opportunity, what you will get and your benefits. And the sixth one is speaker requirements, what you need to notice and to note as a speaker, some important dates, and what happened afterwards, after you apply. So, and then there will be Q&A. So this will be the outline of my talk. Please go to the next slide. So, our conference is called 2026 Kinesiology Conference in Chinese. Yeah. So as you can see on the right-hand side of my slides, there were the logos of previous conferences that our region has hosted. So some are called Greater China Conference, some are called international. We had one international conference, and finally we are having a kinesiology conference in Chinese. So the first two conferences we had in Hong Kong. It was in 2004 and 2005. So these are the two conference menus that we had. It was only a small conference in Hong Kong. We had 30 to 40 people, and basically a group of practitioners in the local area in Hong Kong, and we had some wellness consultants also locally. So we share our knowledge. And then in 2016, we had the kinesiology. First time we had a regional conference in Shenzhen. Yeah. So regional meaning, the regions in China, Greater China area, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and mainland China, we work together. So we had this conference in Shenzhen. It's a face-to-face conference. And the second conference was also in Shenzhen. It was also face-to-face. We really had a good time. We laughed a lot and shared our knowledge. And it was like knowledge sharing and a nice gathering of people. Like all kinesiology conference that I attended have that kind of nature. And then the next one we had in 2019, it was in the Zhejiang area province, in a very special place called Langzhou. It's near Hangzhou. Maybe some of you know Hangzhou. It's near Langzhou, and it's a special place because it's one of the, you can see the UNESCO lyrics where you can, there's a museum beside it, and besides the conference venue, and we had the chance to have like founders of Educate and the founders of Developmental K. They all came, and we had a nice time together. And we also visited the museum. where we saw the very special jades, the Chinese jades. Yeah. So there was one, and then this next one is 2022. We had if you remember, this one was during the COVID time. Would you please get my international conference manual in my room, Gil? Yeah. So this is a very special time during the COVID. So thanks to all the online possibilities. So originally, this conference was meant to happen in Shenzhen again, but then we organized it online because of COVID. Yeah, and it was a successful conference. We had about 140 people. And finally, in 2023, we organized an international kinesiology conference. As you could see, the conference manual we had was very thick. It's bilingual in Chinese and English, and it's more than 700 pages. So there were the two organizations that I mentioned, BTI and IKC, endorsed this conference, and all the like the executive director and the board members came to speak as guests in a conference, and it was a really good time for us. It was a 4-day, and we had 3 virtual conference rooms, and then we had 54 speakers from all over the world. And our furthest participant came from Hungary. Yeah, it was a really good experience for everyone who had participated in this event. And this year, so this is 3 years from the international conference now, it's 2016. So this year, our intention has changed, has transformed, and we would like to come back to ourselves and to our own Chinese-speaking communities. In terms of spreading kinesiology, we would like to intend for a global audience worldwide, Chinese-speaking worldwide. So, so this is the special point about it. So we will work towards this goal. So what in terms of speeches, conference speakers, they can not only speak in Mandarin, they can also speak in English, where you will be translated into Mandarin. And for the first time, we are allowing other Chinese dialects as well, such as the bigger ones, such as Cantonese, my mother tongue, and there are many Chinese dialects. I will explain about the Chinese language later, because I think not a lot of people really understand what it means by the Chinese language. Even as a Chinese, I sometimes need to check the internet about the Chinese language because it's so diverse. I don't know all the Chinese language or all the Chinese dialects. I just know Mandarin, and it's my third tongue, and then Cantonese, which is my mother tongue. I just know 2 of them. And I don't understand any of the other ones. But the good thing is we have a common written language. Yeah. So this is what unites all the various Chinese dialects. It is the written language. So for this year, and as in the previous years, our conference are allowing both traditional Chinese characters, which are used in mainly Taiwan, Hong Kong, and in some other overseas communities, Chinese-speaking communities. As well as we are allowing simplified Chinese characters, which are usually used in mainland China, in Singapore, in Malaysia, and in some other overseas Chinese-speaking communities. So in terms of the dynamics and the cultural variety, it will be the most diverse and the richest from the Chinese language perspective. So let's go to the next slide. So this is like an introduction to the Chinese language, and let's have a look at the some facts. I started to learn English at school as a second language, and I'm sure a lot of other people in the world started to learn English in school as a second language. So a lot of people around the world know English, like me. It's my second language. So the number one fact is English is the number one language in terms of the number of people who can speak it in the world. Yeah. So you cannot deny this fact is a world language, because a lot of people, besides the native speakers, speak English around the world. So it's a world language. So I think the statistics is about 1.5 billion people around the world speak English, whether native or non-native. And the other one fact is Chinese is the number one language in terms of the number of native speakers in the world. Yeah. So you can, what I mean is those people who speak Chinese, which I will define more in detail later, as a mother tongue. When they were born, their mother and father spoke it, and that's why they learned it as a baby. So we were like the first native speaker, like myself. Cantonese is my mother tongue. My mom and dad speak Cantonese, and that's why it is my first language. So and you can check these statistics. You can see it on the right side. Maybe would Gil, please, would you blow up the graphics on the right hand side? Yeah. So you can see that on the left side, it is a graph. The source of this graph is from South China Morning Post. It is the most prestigious English newspaper in Hong Kong. This graphics was published in 2015, so 11 years ago. So in a way, these statistics will be relevant, but it's not too updated, but it will be relevant. It will give you some ideas. So you can see on the lower left-hand bottom of the circle there, where it says Chinese. And I think the statistics is 1.197 billion. And which means that there are about 1.197, I round it up to 1.2 billion people who has Chinese as the native tongue, not only in China, but also in other parts of the world. So let's blow it up a little bit more, the Chinese part on the circle, in the circle. Yeah. That's all? That's all you can do? Okay. So so let me go to the here a little bit more. So you can see that there's important Chinese dialect called Mandarin. It occupies 848 yeah, that is the most dialect that people in China speak the most. And there are other Chinese dialects as well. So as some of you may know, Mandarin is the #1 official language in China. And there are other dialects as well. I will explain about the dialects a little later. And on the right-hand side is a more current graph with a source. There's a source on the right-hand side. Would you please show the source as well? Yeah. So I got it from this source. You can check it up later. And it says that in 2025, which is last year, there are around 1.3 billion people with Chinese language as the native language. Can you go down a little bit so that they can know the title? Yeah. So the title of the chart is Chart of the Most Spoken Language by Native Speaker. So bear in mind that is the native speaker. I'm not talking about foreign language, people who learn Chinese as a foreign language. So native speaker. In terms of native speaker, Chinese is the #1 language in the world. Second is Hindi. Yeah, and the third is English, according to this chart. And I have seen different statistics on the social media or on some other research websites. And it's different statistics show different percentage or different numbers, but more or less, everyone agree that Chinese language is the #1 language in terms of native speakers. Yeah. So please go back to the slide. Yeah. So this is the fact #2. And fact #3 is Chinese-speaking areas are highly concentrated, meaning that it's not, unlike English. English is very, very much all over the place because of history. Many people learn English as foreign language, but Chinese, although it's big numbers, the areas are mostly concentrated in China, Hong Kong, mainland China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau. So basically, we have a very concentrated and market. I use a business language here, and speaking the same or writing the same language. Speaking more or less the same language and writing the same language. And then the fourth point is Chinese is spoken also in other countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and pockets of immigrants in the United States, Europe, and Australia, Central and South America, and other countries. Maybe
recording in progress.
Maybe some of you know that there were floods of immigrants, Chinese immigrants, who went overseas maybe about 60, 70 years ago, and their descendants are now in those countries. They may or may not know Chinese, and their descendants may or may not know Chinese. A lot of them do, still do, and even up to now, current years, some Chinese are emigrating overseas. So there are pockets of these immigrants overseas. And then more and more people outside China are learning the Chinese language as a foreign language. This is very true phenomenon, because as more as China become richer, China is now GDP is second in the world, second to the US. As China become richer and more people wants to do business in China, more and more people wants to learn Chinese as a foreign language so that they can talk and they can communicate with the people in China. So so this is the one of the characteristics. So I'm seeing Chinese as a rising language, what I call a rising language, because more people want to learn it. And even though people don't want to learn the language, they may want to go to China for traveling or just for a short visit to know about the culture. Yeah, I just have a client from Europe. You know, we're doing balances together, or I do balance private sessions for him. He is very keen in learning the Chinese culture. He asked me all sorts of questions on how Chinese people think in terms of the way they bring up their children, how they see education, how they think in terms of mathematics and in terms of numbers, and the latest Chinese history and latest development. So, and that client is very young. You know, he's only in his 30s, and I'm seeing younger generation overseas. More people are having a stronger interest in the Chinese culture, whether they know the language or not. You know. Okay, so please go to the next slide. So this is like a deeper understanding of the Chinese dialect. So as I said, there are many Chinese dialects in China, and Mandarin mainly being the biggest one, and most people in China know how to speak it. But if you ask how many Chinese dialects are there, you ask the same question, check up AIs, different AIs. Different AIs will give you different numbers. Some AI just say few hundreds. Meaning what? Even AI don't know how many dialects are there in China. I don't know. I don't have the exact number, because Chinese language is so diverse. So there's no definite number. And down there's a website. You can, if you're interested, you can go onto that website. It gives you a list of Chinese dialects. And the linguists group Chinese dialects. There are about 7 to 10 main ones, like 普通话, which is Mandarin, 粤语, which is Cantonese, 闽南语, which is 闽语, which is Hokkien, mainly spoken in Taiwan, and 吴语, Shanghainese, etc. So there are 7 to 10 groups of the most important dialects, and there are hundreds of other dialects spoken all over China. So the word dialect in English doesn't really give you if you are a native English speaker, doesn't give you a really good sense of what it is about. Because of the diverse culture, different dialects, people speaking different dialects, mainly they don't understand the other ones. Yeah. And then, for example, I speak of my own mother tongue, Cantonese. If I speak in Cantonese, the people who only speaks Mandarin cannot understand me. So what it means is every Chinese dialect has its specific specialty or culture or belief system that gives rise to that language. So, what is the significance for the development of kinesiology? It means that different dialects may give rise to different ideas in kinesiology. So I give a specific example. Maybe some of you know about Touch for Health, the Touch for Health metaphor, creative metaphor, which uses language and the Chinese 5 elements, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Use the 5 elements metaphor to help people to make unlocked muscle locked. So, for example, there's a muscle, it's called psoas muscle on the leg, is related to the water cycle in the Chinese 5 element. And water in Cantonese has very a lot of rich metaphoric meaning that even Mandarin doesn't have. So you know what I mean? So, for example, I said this in the other online talk in Mandarin. So, for example, the word water, 水, has a lot of meaning. It can mean money. It can mean if you are rich or not. It can mean many other things. So you can make use of the quality of the language to develop new techniques in kinesiology. So I'm going pretty far away now, I know, but I want to make the point that this will be the first time in our area in China that we are allowing our instructors or our other experts to speak in their own dialect. They don't need to speak in Mandarin if they don't want. Yeah, they can make use of their own cultural background to share their knowledge, and they will be interpreted into Mandarin. Yeah, so Mandarin will be the main language, whereas we are allowing other language like Cantonese or Shanghainese or English or French or even Japanese, for example. People like other language to share in our conference. So next slide, please. So, oh, I'm seeing some of the some of our sponsors here, yeah, who are attending my talk. So, I mean the Chinese sponsor. So you may be interested in this slide, although you have been working in China ever since, right? So I would like to share my knowledge or experience about the Chinese speaking market for kinesiology, wellness, and personal growth. I will talk in business language here. I use the word market because to be honest, our organization, Brain Body Center, is a for-profit organization. So we work in a business way with our partners all over China. Yeah. So, and I have been working in, so as I said, my base is in Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is like a mixture of Western and Chinese. And it has other cultures as well. So it's very diverse, Hong Kong. And I've been working in China since 2004. So it's been 20 something years as well, 22 years. Yeah, I've been working in mainland China. So this is not a secret that China population is 1.4 billion, yeah, people. So we have a lot of people. Yeah. So you can imagine the vast size of the market which is a great potential for the development of kinesiology. Yeah, if we think of purely this number, you may be impressed. However, it is not an easy market to develop. Yeah, don't be too impressed by its number. Why? Because Chinese people, Chinese, although it is the second GDP producing country all over the world, besides US, US is number one. A lot of people are still, living in such not so great condition. Yeah. So a lot of people still maybe they don't have the purchasing power to pay for courses like kinesiology. Yeah. So I have to tell you the truth about this market. Yeah. And however, because of its size, the middle class and the rich is becoming bigger and bigger, the size. So there are lots of people who are well educated and they have their they are also bosses in companies, or they are professionals, they are therapists, they are trainers, they are well-to-do parents, middle-class parents. They're very willing to upgrade themselves. Yeah. So, and as a as a as a person from Hong Kong working in mainland China for over 20 years, I can say that according to my impression, I can say it's only my impression, the people in mainland China are very keen to learn, and they're very keen to take up new knowledge, and they're very keen to work on themselves in terms of balancing themselves. So why is China growing such a fast pace? Because Chinese people are keen to learn. Yeah, and they are keen to upgrade themselves. So in terms of hardware and in terms of software. So this is a good news for if you are English speaking kinesiologist and you have something good to offer to the Chinese people, then maybe you may consider giving a talk in our conference. Okay, so the second point, what unites us is the Chinese written language. I already talked about it, so I'll skip this point. Highly concentrated, I also talked already, so I will skip it. Okay, so next ones is just some experience sharing. Is that one needs two brains, like the left brain and the right brain, and the mindset, I call it the integration mindset, to work in the Chinese-speaking areas in the long run. Yeah, because in some ways it's very different than the West. Like I said, I have worked with international organizations, and I've worked as a teacher in other foreign countries. It's in some ways it's similar, but in some ways it's different. So you need to have an integration mindset and not a judgmental mindset or diverse mindset. Oh, Chinese working this way, I'm working this way. It cannot be integrated. So if you think that way, you cannot work in China in the long run. Yeah, you will only either you decide Chinese market is not for you, it's not your cup of tea, and you go concentrate in the other areas, or you say, oh, I want to work in this area, and I integrate my belief system and I integrate my knowledge with the Chinese cultural context. So it's not just a matter of importing good ideas, or if you are English speaker and you want to export, it's not just a matter of exporting good ideas and good techniques. And it's not just about translation. Yeah, translation, AI can do everything for you now. Yeah, translation is not a difficult thing now. No, it's not. And AI can do it quickly in less than 1 minute. If you want it to translate your whole book, yeah, you can do it in 1 minute. It's not that easy. I mean, translation easy, but developing in the Chinese-speaking market is not that easy. It's not as easy. So the next, so what is some of the things you need to watch for the two brains? So my first degree was in journalism and international studies. So and I have worked as a journalist in Hong Kong in my late after I graduated from university. So one of my interests is watching the media. So the China has a different set of media, yeah, and than the rest of the world. I have to admit that, yeah. And if you need to work in China, you cannot only rely on YouTube. You cannot only rely on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or X or whatever. Yeah, you need to learn the other media. You need to learn WeChat. You need to learn Douyin. You need to learn 小红书 or these are the more popular names. Our company, we have already the 小儿通. Yeah, this is like one of the learning platform, e-learning platform. Yeah, you have to not only to learn but to invest. Yeah, invest. It means money. Yeah, you have to invest in this side of media, your time, your money. And yeah, you have the second point is, so this is about the media. You need to integrate the West and the Chinese media. That's true. And the second point is it's best to be sensitive to government rules when you work in China. So this is true for every country, not only in China. So that's why in our conference, one of the conditions for you to become a speaker is that you have to abide by Chinese government rule. Yeah. So, and especially if you are coming to China, so make sure that you don't speak badly about anyone. So abide by the government rules. This is a good way to steer your long-term strategy in China. Okay, so for the third point, observe cultural norms and remember pace. So this is also true in every country. So observe how Chinese people deal with each other and remember pace. Pace meaning the speed of doing things. Yeah. Even among Chinese cities, we have different pace. Like in Shenzhen, I'll introduce our partner later. Our Shenzhen partner, they have a little different pace than Hong Kong, even among us. They are more used to working overtime, whereas our Hong Kong staff is more used to working in a fixed time. So this is to respect the pace of your working partner and work with and not against people's belief system. So I have many stories to tell about this, but what is interesting about kinesiology is that as some of you know, the root of kinesiology is partly came from China. And when kinesiology, when people in the Western countries use traditional Chinese medicine techniques to write the books or to write the techniques, they sometimes change it according to their own perspective. So when these techniques come to China, sometimes Chinese people don't understand why. is not the same as, for example, TCM. So it will be not as easy to spread it if it is different, or even if it is totally against the original idea. So I'm being very frank here. I know this video will be open to the public. Yeah, I'm being very frank here. So if my advice is to work with the belief system. Yeah, unless you don't want to develop the Chinese market. If you want to develop the Chinese market, my advice is to work with the local belief system and follow local business practice. Yeah, and be sensitive to commercial co-creative model. So what I mean by this is uh, it is more common for people in the kinesiology industry in China, as well as wellness and personal growth industry, that they work with companies, yeah, and not with, like, for example, associations. There are associations like nonprofit ones, there are, but it's more common. I would say 90% or even 95% is if you work with individuals. I'm not talking about government level. I'm talking about people, the ordinary people. If they want to promote something, they set up a company and they promote it. Yeah, that is the main way of doing things. So and not to be too surprised uh, if the business practice is a little bit different than the way that you are used to in the West. Not be too surprised. And my advice is, yeah, if you are coming to China, why don't you talk to the Chinese partners and see if you can follow or to negotiate and work with and make up a good deal. Yeah. No matter how good your work is, if that's not a good deal, there's nothing afterwards. So the best advice I can give is work with the business local people and see if you can come up with a good deal that is win-win for all. Yeah. Okay. If you think the Chinese people are not giving you a good deal, then maybe Chinese market is not for you. Yeah. I'm very frank about it too. Yeah. So the last point I want to say is 关系. This is a very important thing to watch for. If you study MBA, maybe they will also tell you this word, 关系. It means a trusted and long-term relationship with people. Yeah, because Chinese people, we want to be good with each other. Yeah, we want to be good with each other. Although sometimes contracts and rules are also important. Contracts and rules are also important, but 关系 is also important. So you want to maintain your good relationship with your Chinese partners. So this is just some ideas, and hopefully it will give you some ways to guide or for those of you who are interested to work with Chinese partner in the long run. Then these are some of my advices. So please, next slide. So let me introduce our conference sponsors. So this year we have our company, which is Brain Body Center Limited, and we also have a brand name called IKMMS, which We oversee 4 brands: Brain Gym, Touch for Health, and Kinesiology, and Choroimin Kinesiology. We oversee these 4 brands. And we have our Shenzhen partner, Sinful Wings. For our company, you see my picture over there, and the other guy is my working partner and life partner and business partner, Conrad Ho. And you can see on the lower left-hand bottom are some of the conference snapshots you can see. Okay, let me introduce our Shenzhen partner, Sinful Wings, and one of the directors, Zheng Haiying. And Miss Zhang is her specialty is family education. She has a Touch for Health instructor and a Brain Gym faculty as well. So Miss Zhang, hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Miss Zhang. We usually call her Haiying instead of her first name instead of her surname, so it sounds more close. Haiying, Miss Haiying, Teacher Haiying. So, can you introduce yourself and your company, what you do?
Okay. I'm living in Shenzhen, and my company is focused on family education and Kinesiology. I love it, and many students learn from Brain Gym and love to do balance. I have worked with Amy and Conrad for many years to have the Kinesiology conference in China. So this year we welcome everyone to attend this conference and to do speech in this conference. Well,
yeah, thanks, Haiying. So Miss Haiying is, as she said, is the 4th time this year her company is working together with Brain Body Center. The one in 2016, 2017, and 2022, we worked together. And their company, if you have a chance to visit it in Shenzhen, is in a place called Qianhai. It means the front sea. Shenzhen is a city just north of Hong Kong, and Qianhai is the place where it is system-wise, it is closest to Hong Kong, the system in Hong Kong. So we have a lot of exchange, and her company has a big window, and they have a lot of staff, and it's really nice, and she has a big team. Yeah. So I really look forward to working with them again and helping this conference manifest into a successful conference. Because this time we are going to having it both face-to-face in Shenzhen and online. So the face-to-face part is where we can be close to each other, and online is where we can spread globally. And the speaker can also, if you are not, you don't have the time or the budget to travel to China, online is the way for you to to speak. But if you want to interpret in terms of networking, I think it may be worthwhile for you to buy the ticket to come to China. Even the language is in Chinese. The conference, I mean, is in Chinese. It's different, you know. If you can make local contact, if you can talk to people, if you can have meals together, yeah. For Chinese, if you make a business deal, lunch and dinners are also very important. I forgot to tell you about that. So if you cannot come to lunch and dinner, then it's not as easy to people to make a deal, a real deal. Yeah. So if you are serious about the Chinese-speaking market, and if you want your work to develop in here, the other thing is, please come. Yeah, please come in person. The other thing is, I think a lot of our sponsors who work in kinesiology around different areas of China will come to this conference. Yeah, so you not only can see me and Karen and Haiying, you can also network with the other ones. Yeah, so this will be a good chance, because the last time we had a face-to-face conference was when in Liangzhu in 2019, and so this is since COVID, this is the first time we organizing a face-to-face conference. So yeah, so why wait for next time? Yeah, if you are keen and if you have the time and the budget, buy a ticket and come to our conference to speak in person. Yeah. So please go to the next slide. Oh, and we go back to the same slide, please. Yeah. So thank you, Haiying. And on the lower right-hand corner, we will also have a team of co-sponsors, meaning we not only two companies, but different companies and different individuals will work with us. And our intention is to work with global Chinese-speaking partners, like those people in Malaysia or even Singapore. If they are willing to work with us, we are more than welcome that we have a team of people working together to promote the conference. So, okay, so that's all I want to talk about co-sponsors and sponsors. Thank you. So please, the next slide. So I have about half an hour more. So this time, I will want to talk about the conference venue, Shenzhen. So Shenzhen is, according to my own experience, is the most magical city in China. Why? Because it was when I went there the first time in the 1990s, early 1990s, it wasn't like a small village, but it was already developed quite a bit. But in these 20 to 30 years, it has just exploded. And it has a lot of talented people working in this city, and a lot of the big companies, which I will show it in a slide later, in the YouTube later, to give you an idea. So, and as I said, our Shenzhen partner, Xingfu Wings, they have a big team, and I'm sure they can support a lot of future potential candidates that they are interested in. They can support it, and the city is very vibrant. Shenzhen has many people from all over China coming to work in this city. So they are from diverse areas. So would you please show the video on Shenzhen to give people an idea?
What's going on, everybody? This is Island Hopper TV, and today we're going to do a best things to do in Shenzhen, China. Let's do it. That's right, everybody. Shenzhen is basically the Silicon Valley of China. This is where some of the headquarters for DJI, Tencent, BYD, the major electric car manufacturer. This is a mega city, considered the most futuristic city in China. And we're going to show you the very best things to do. Now here we are at the splendid China Folk Village. You can go inside here and see what traditional China was like. Which is good for those of you who are visiting here, because Shenzhen used to be a small fishing village about 40 years ago, and it's since become one of the largest cities in China. But here you finally get a cultural experience, which is rare in a futuristic city, of course. And the big ticket here, I would say, is the evening show. They do drones. They also show you some of the traditional folk performances that you would see across the rivers in China. You can also visit during the daytime. Now I'm in the Futian mangrove forest. This here is more like an escape from the big city and the hustle and bustle. Here it's a wetland located right in the heart of Shenzhen's urban district along the waterfront. It's basically a sanctuary with birds and biodiversity. Here we are, Lianhua Shuan. This is a park here. They've also got a statue of Deng Xiaoping, who's famous for being one of the founders of Shenzhen and the opening up of the economy to the international community with Deng Xiaoping. One thing I noticed here was they were flying a lot of kites. If you can get one of these shuttles to take you up to the top where the viewpoint is, you get a nice view looking down at the city. They also have the big government building that kind of looks like a manta ray wings, but really a nice park, another escape from the hustle and bustle.
So this is just to give you an idea. As the guy in the video said, Deng Xiaoping is the original Chinese leader who opened up Shenzhen as a city to new ideas, new way of doing things. So it's a miracle. It has become a miracle in China. So that's a physical venue, Shenzhen. And the other thing is we are going to have online as well. So we are welcoming participants Chinese speaking all over the world to join us online. And we are also inviting speakers from all over the world to join us online. So if you can come to China, please come. If you cannot come, please give us a speech online. Okay, so that's the conference venue, Futuristic Shenzhen. So next slide, please. So what you will get as a speaker and benefits. So I must say we have been very putting a lot of heart. I can only say heart because it's not just what we do for speaker. It's not just the branding, but we really put our heart into every conference project. So if you have a chance to work with us, we will make videos for you, 1 minute video pre-conference to introduce you and your talk. And in the replay we will also spread your work in the replay. So the participants will have a chance to not only to come to the conference online and in Shenzhen, but once they join the conference, they also have a chance to watch the replay as well. So it's just like revisit your work. They have a chance to revisit your work. And the second point, networking, as I said before, you will have a chance to network with our local participants and also with other speakers. The next one is the attendance certificate. As you can see on the slide, in the middle of the slide, there is a certificate. So we give our heart to the way how the certificate looks. They always look very nice, yeah. And it gives you some hours that to say you have either attended or given a speech as in our conference, and you can use it to demonstrate your work to your local association or whoever. And you will have opportunities to be invited to teach. So if people think your work is good for them, then you may be invited to teach in China in the future. So let's show one of the videos that we have made for the international conference. That's a post-conference video. So let's take a look and see our branding work that we make for the speakers. like I said, we put our heart into promoting our speakers. So those are one of the post-conference snapshots or videos we made. And if you're interested to see more, it's on our website. I will show you our website later. Okay, so next slide. So speaker requirements. So if you speak English or Mandarin, and if you write, you can write in English or Mandarin or Chinese. Of course, those papers and speeches will be accepted. And like I said, this year we also accept a presentation in other Chinese dialects, Cantonese, and other dialects. And what if you don't speak English? If you speak only, for example, Japanese, or other language, French or whatever. So, we don't have the sponsors would like to ask you to bring your own interpreters, Mandarin interpreters, because we here locally we are not having we don't have to. If you bring your own Mandarin interpreters, then we don't need to bring help you everybody to find the appropriate interpreters for so many languages in the world. So if you bring your interpreters, it will be most convenient for us as the organizers. And the other requirement is please make your speech topic related to the conference topic, which is life skills for pursuing happiness. So this is the main theme of the conference. And if you just talk about techniques, we are interested but not as interested. So if you are going to present your technique or your research or your case studies, etc., please relate this to the theme, because we want this focus to be the main one in our conference. So session length and format. So for the speech, is about 45 minutes to an hour, subject to later confirmation. So once you are accepted as a speaker, we will give you confirmation and we will tell you how long your speech will be. And if you are speaking in English or other language, that means you have to allow time for interpreters as well. And for the essay, so you have to submit an essay as well. So, and for essay, I think it's 4 to 8 A4 pages. Yeah. Please don't make it too short. Yeah, like 1 page. I don't think our participants will learn a lot from that. But don't make it too long. Yeah, because it's not an academic such an academic conference per se. It's like knowledge sharing and technique sharing, and we welcome if you give us the academic angle, you give us the research list, etc. But limited to 8 pages. Yeah, 4 to 8 pages. So next slide, please. So if you are interested in becoming our speaker for this conference, this is the website, ikmms.com/2026/speaker/. This is the website where you can download the speaker form in English and also in Chinese. And you will also see all the conference promo on this website. An important date for submission of the application form is April 23rd this year. So in about, today is the 14th, so in about 9 days or so. Yeah. So next slide. So these are some of the important dates. So by April 23rd, please submit your form. By May 14th, you will receive a notice from the organizers about whether we accept your speech or whether you need to make some change or whatever. So by May 14, you know from us that whether you need to allow that time slot for our conference. And on or before April 13th, so if you would like the organizers, the sponsors to make a 1-minute video for you to help you promote yourself and your work, please make a video on or before that date for us, and we will do the branding for you, and then we will dispatch it in the Chinese media and also the usual Western media. Yeah. So and then on or before July 30th, please submit your essay on or before the date. So we will need to review all the texts and the graphics, and we need to translate it, we need to edit it, we need to proofread it, we need to lay it out. So before that, please submit it to us before July 30th. And then if you are going to use a PowerPoint for your presentation, whether you are coming physically to Shenzhen or whether you are doing it online, please submit your PowerPoint to us on or before August 19th. Yeah. And then in late September, most likely on September 29th for most people, we will have a test run for the online speaker. Yeah. And then on October 23rd to 25, it is the conference itself. So these are the important dates and deadlines that for you to take note of. Okay, next slide. So this slide is pretty much repeating what I said just before the previous slides, and except for the last one, for the 6th point. So these are all the things that you do after you submit your application. You'll be notified, and yes, if we say yes, you can give a speech, then then please make a 1-minute video and write your essay, write your PowerPoint, do your test run if you are speaking online, and give your speech on that date, on your designated date. And you will have a chance for networking. So I think in our previous conference, we have not emphasized that enough, but for this conference, I would like to give it a chance for people to really know each other better. Yeah. And how can you do that? How can you do that? So as I said in one of the previous slide, you need 2 brains to work in China, and you need integration mindset to work in China. So if you are just used to your way of communication, like some people use WhatsApp, or some people use Messenger or Signal or whatever to online, yeah, that's not going to work in China. Yeah, your line, you can work with the people in Taiwan, but if you don't even have a WeChat account, you are not going to have a lot of success in networking. Yeah, I have to be frank about it. Just today, I received a WhatsApp message from a colleague in the US. She said, well, I finally got my WeChat account. So she asked me to add her onto WeChat, and we just did. So yeah, so now networking, I would like to emphasize this a little bit more this year. So next. So finally, we have Q&A. But before we have Q&A, I want to go back a bit to give people an impression on the application form. So would Gil, please, you go back to the application form page and please open the application form and for people to just take a look. So this is the application form. So it's in PDF. So if you don't know how to use PDF, or if your computer doesn't work, PDF doesn't work on a computer, please feel free to ask us for a Word or pd.docx version. So these are some of, you need to fill up some boxes and you need to decide on your speech topic, introduce yourself, and important point is read the guidelines for speakers. Yeah, and you please agree to the guidelines before you send in the application form. So there are, it may take you half an hour to an hour to fill it up. Yeah, because you need to think about the speech topic. So so it will take a little time for you to fill it up. And all the important dates that I mentioned they are on this speaker form itself. So it's a very informative document. So I appreciate that you will take your time to read through it and to fill it up. So that's all. And let's go to the last second to the last slide, Q&A. So is there any question from the floor? No. If there's no question from the floor, then I will go to the last slide. Oh, go to the last slide, please. So this is how you can contact us if you are speakers overseas and you would like to get in touch with us and ask any question about the conference. These are our contacts, the line, WeChat, and WhatsApp phone numbers. And then these are our media, below the bottom, these are our media, Facebook, the IKMMS website, which promotes the conference, and our WeChat channel is the video platform where your speech will be, where your 1 minute video will be uploaded to, and also our IKMMS local platform, the written platform. So you are welcome to contact us by any of these means. Yeah. So I think that's all for today, and I really enjoy talking to all of you. Although some of you said you are not able to come but would like to watch the video, I really enjoy talking to all of you, and I trust that some of the points will be an inspiration to those of you who have the intention to work a little closer to towards this side of the world and working closer to the Chinese sponsors and to develop your work and to promote kinesiology, promote the skills for the pursuit of happiness. So I'm Amy Choi from Hong Kong, and previously my colleague from Shenzhen, Zheng Haiying, also has spoken. So I look forward to this year's conference. So see you on October 23rd and to 25th. And I look forward to receiving your application please send us your application before April 23rd. So, talk to you later. Bye bye.